Would you look at this? 5 hours ago from Xylo CIG. Evo Coti patch notes, a new home. So what does this all mean? Um, I want to talk very candidly with you guys and no script or nothing special. I want to do something different for you guys here. Uh, this is something I've advocated for f- since Evo Coti's existed. I've been Evo Coti since its inception, and I, I've taken issue with only one thing about the way they handle their non-disclosure agreement, and it's this specific issue. And the issue is that the moment a patch goes live, it's on. The notes are on Reddit, they're on Discords, they're in my Discord, they are everywhere, and there is no stopping the sharing of it. It's the next day on my Twitch chat, there's people talking about it. And I was under the assumption, as somebody who was in Evo Coti, that I was to silence that noise that people were making. And that noise, well, noise has got a negative connotation. That noise is just players' excitement for what the next patch holds, what the next patch is, what is being tested, what is important. And towards the end of a patch cycle is when Evo of the next patch starts coming out. So people aren't really interested in the live patches anymore, and people are more interested in what's coming next. So, with what's coming next, as a member of Evo Coti, I couldn't say anything. I had to, what I thought was, pretend that I didn't know what was going on, even though I knew exactly what was going on and I was often interacting with what was going on. So here we have a post from Xylo, and he says, "Hello, everyone. When we initially launched Evo Coti Test Flight in 2016, we implemented an NDA process that has remained largely unchanged to this day. Primary objective of this NDA is to prevent any potential confusion or misrepresentation of the current state of the game, primarily for those that may not be following the project as closely." So they don't want things getting out there that are, um, I don't know, maybe on like Kotaku and things like that that are gonna, or r slash gaming, right? Where look at Star Citizen, what a joke. Um, I think that there's other things. This has actually been happening in PTUs as well, not just PTUs, where features are coming in and are not ready for feedback. Right? There's been a lot of weird things happening over the last few years with PTU cycles, whether they're Evo or not, where things aren't really ready to be fully realized or fully talked about or fully shown. Even I think we saw it with um yeah, even more recently with structural salvage and things like this, where they intend to do a lot more with it, but they showed it in a very uh different and interesting state, to say the least. But they said, over the years, though, we've recognized that certain aspects of the Evo Coti test flight would benefit from being public facing. Historically, Evo Coti patch notes have been confined to a private section of Spectrum, visible to only those testers who have signed an NDA. Yeah, technically true, but in reality, within minutes, these notes are able to be posted on a forum because there's no way to track them. For those of you guys that don't know, Evo Coti patches have actual, I think they still do this, is they have like watermarks on them where they'll know where the leak came from. But even then, there's been tons of issues where certain videos that were meant for uh, I guess, issue council reports have somehow been shared because you could take that video and share it. And there's been so many problems with issues around that. So largely, Evo Coti has been out in the open if you wanted to see it. Now, going back to what they said, many players are watching Star Citizen from far away, wanting to find out if it's worth playing. That's why the NDA is there. They're not ready for anybody to really see this, and they don't want people to see it. But they say, we will begin to release the Evo Coti patch notes publicly, allowing everyone to read and discuss their content. We believe this shift will contribute to a more inclusive community that embraces the fun in theory crafting and provides a transparent glimpse into what's on the horizon. Open development. Wow. Imagine doing that, right? It's something I've been very frustrated with for a very long time. The most important thing is a more inclusive community. Now, this doesn't affect everybody, right? This is something that almost exclusively affects me and maybe a handful of other creators in the space. And most of you, I totally understand, don't care about me or other content creators. I get it. Why should you? Why should you care about my minute, stupid problems? I just, it was, and you shouldn't. And I don't, I'm just here posting videos and sharing my thoughts on things. And I'm going to share my thoughts on this situation. I think this is a huge win. Whereas the Evocati notes are not a big deal. They've never been a big deal. If you really cared to wait, you could wait and not see them. If you really cared to see them, you could, and it really wouldn't change anything, right? Most of the things that you would see in the Evocati patch notes were already on the roadmap as cards. Like this, there's not a lot of surprises that are happening here. Occasionally there's something interesting, but not a whole lot of surprises, right? So it's not that big of a deal to share something like this. The issue that I took was I felt that I had to be, uh, not inclusive for people who were coming to my channel, whether it was YouTube, Twitch, or Discord, and say, hey, you can't talk about those things here because I signed an NDA. Kind of ridiculous, right? But I didn't want to be one of the people um, going against. I do what I'm told. I've always done what I'm told. It's something that I think is important. Being respectful to not only the community team but the developers who are working hard on these things and are not ready for stuff to be shown, right? And I always wanted to respect that. Now, it is important here to note, and this is what they're saying right here in this section, that this change allows open discussion, text or voice, for upcoming features and content listed specifically in the patch notes, but the NDA otherwise remains fully in effect when it comes to visuals, access, or other content. So that doesn't mean I can just all of a sudden start streaming Evo or making YouTube videos for it or anything like that. And I think this is about as far as I'm going to go for YouTube videos. But if you guys are fans of Week in Review, I can now share these notes with you guys, which is quite incredible as well. We hope this change is a welcome one. And as always, we'll monitor and make further adjustments if necessary. For now, though, we'll see you in the public patch notes section. I think the sentiment from this is really strong. I don't see too many negatives here. There's one from a community member of mine, Sladowug, who, well, I think that's a weird thing to say, but he's in my Discord and stops by the stream and stuff occasionally. I don't think I own the guy or anything. I think that's a weird thing to say, but people are going to be asking ETF members a lot of questions about how the game feels based on the notes, and this either opens them up to be able to disseminate feedback or makes the answer restricted to read the notes and wait and see. I can't breach NDA. Yeah, so it kind of puts people in a weird spot. That's the only real valid criticism I've seen. In the end, I think being able to post these is a win-win for CIG. Obviously, there's been a heavy growth to the people who are leaking things in Star Citizen. Now, there's leaks that are much more malicious, much more problematic, whether it's about people's employment. I've seen ships, the names of ships, visuals of ships posted on YouTube weeks and weeks and weeks before the initial launch. That's way more problematic than something like this. And I just want people to know that I fought in this corner to have these notes open. I pestered CIG for months, and then more recently, weekly, maybe twice a week, 3 times a week, just pestering about this issue. Just I wanted these things out here because I thought it was the right thing to do, and I thought it was a win if these leaks were started here in this part of the world was Evocati. That's where the roots of these leaks were coming from. If you put this out there, you're you're negating a lot of that right away. And I thought that that was a really good idea to do. And not only that, it made my life easier, right? And that was a big thing for me. It was making my life easier. I didn't feel like I had to put people's excitement down. And in general, I'm sticking with this one. In reality, they were public from day one, so it's not that big deal to post them. But there's another one that's really really funny. This should be upvoted to the top. To be honest, now everyone cannot read them because people don't really read the patch notes. People come into patches asking, well, what about this? What about that? Well, they're literally in the notes, so read them. So I think it's a great move, and I think it's a smart move, and I'm really happy about it. So I don't know what you guys think, but I'm so excited to kind of see what happens going forward here, and I think that it just makes things simpler and it just makes things open for the Star Citizen community. Obviously, I have a bias here, but at the same time, I think it was the right thing to do for everybody. It was um you don't have to go to a place that you shouldn't be in the first place to find out about what's going on with your favorite game. The announcements about what's going on with your favorite game should come from the people who make your favorite game, right? They shouldn't be coming from people like me. They shouldn't be coming from Discords. They shouldn't be coming from Twitter. They should be coming directly from the company, right? They should be on ISC. They should be on SCL, and they should be on the forums. Then we should discuss it as a community, as content creators, as Twitter users and Discord users. We should all talk about it as fans of the game, but it should come from the right place for people. And I think this is just a great thing. And I don't know what else to say. I just wanted to update you guys on this. That life's getting easier for some of us that are in Evo, and I think that that's just a good thing. We get to talk about the things that are exciting. Um, I don't know when the next Evo patch is going to be. I don't know what's going to be in it, but I know we're going to get to talk about it. Now, the one thing that I will not do is I will not share how it was. Is it crashy? Is it stable? Is it fun? I won't be talking about that. We'll just be talking about what's in it and what that means for Star Citizen. And I think that that's a really good first step and a really good thing. Do I think eventually there should be no NDA at all? Yes. But I do understand why there is one, and how they use Evocati is sort of one of the reasons for that. It is not good for when the live patch is as bad as it is and is as embarrassing as it is, then Evo should probably be kept in a little closet hidden away, right? So that's all I got for you guys. I just wanted to update you, and I don't know, like the video if you are excited to be able to talk with me about things that are coming in the future, because I'm certainly excited to talk about those things with you guys. So thanks for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe, I guess. Super lazy video, but I'm working on another one right now, so I just wanted to put this out there and share that with you. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.